Somebody posed a question to me on the M95 Carbine that military ammo is pretty stiff round and the recoil is kind of hard, and that kind of contributes to the inaccuracy of this particular gun. Now, in the beginning, I didn't have any military surplus ammo. When these guns came in years ago, the only military surplus ammo you're going to get was made in 1938, and obviously they didn't have large stores of ammo. There's more guns, you can still get the guns, but the ammunition has gone up to, basically people are paying $1 a round for it. So, not exactly inexpensive. So I did get some military ammo. I got a bucket of it. I got it fairly cheap because it's really not in the greatest of condition, as you can see. Some of it's kind of corroded and nasty, but I got it, tried it out. It does recoil a lot harder, and I got my results here. I fired it in a in a rifle, and I fired it in a carbine, and the average velocity in the rifle was 2,446 feet per second. In the carbine, average velocity was 2,277, so about 200 feet per second difference. Accuracy was about that with the carbine, not exactly too, get these up here, not exactly real anything to write home about there, and about the same in the rifle, and that's at 50 yards. So, you know, you got to remember too, the ammunition is over 70 years old, and usually 20 years is the cutoff point, but it's well beyond that. That ammunition wasn't stored too well. I do reload ammo, and I make almost the same thing using PPU components. Same military round in that, almost identical to that, the surplus ammo. So I got my reloads, but the only thing with my reloads is I load them down. I reloaded for this gun from when I first got it. I really never fooled with the surplus ammo much. And here's a test target with some of my reloads at 50 yards, and that's 3 bullets there, 3 or 4, right in that thing there. So I get better results from my reloads, but then again, I do load these down. The velocity is about 1,800 feet per second for the same bullet. So it's not, I'm using the powder that's a little bit slower burning. It makes a light load, be on the safe side. And another thing about these guns and the accuracy problem, a lot of them, the sights are set high, like 300 yards, and they're fixed right at the bottom. So that's a problem. That causes a lot of inaccuracy. Some of them I found had been adjusted or changed over the years because of their use, and some of them are right on at 100 yards. So what I decided to do is I'm going to take the military ammo, and I'm going to take my hand loads, and I'm going to shoot them side by side in 3 different rifles. Now what I have here is 3 different examples of the carbine. I have this example here, which is an actual carbine, has a carbine sights in that. This one's been pretty much scrubbed. It's a Steyr M95. All the markings are ground off, even almost the S. It's been reblued. But this gun has a mint bore on it, close to like new. Clean, smooth, nice, and slugs at 330, which it should. The next rifle we're going to use is a Budapest M95. It's got a 1916 date on it and the S modification. And this at one time was a rifle. it was shortened down, okay, as the long sights on the rear. And I've used this gun a lot to test the ammunition in that. And this slugs at about 332, and it's fairly worn rifling. I'd say it's in, you know, average condition. It's not got a perfect bore, but it's got a good enough bore where it shoots well. And then I have here a Budapest M95, again a carbine. This is the one that has that H stamp on there, so this is Hungarian. It's mismatched, beat up, used, has this type of unit marking on the butt plate. So this gun was probably used by police forces until maybe even the 50s in Eastern Europe. I don't think this one doesn't have importation markings either, so this is an older surplus gun that came into the U.S. now with the batch. But this bore is pretty crappy. It slugs 336 or something. It's probably the worst condition gun I have. So I have 3 rifles, or carbines, basically the same. I have one with a mint bore, one with an average worn condition bore, which a lot of the different carbines I got, the bore's about the same condition. Used, you know, corrosive ammo, worn a little. And I got one that's pretty gnarly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and shoot the 3 guns using the military surplus ammo, using my hand loads, and I'm going to see how accurate they are and if there's a difference in the condition of the bore. You know, basically what I'm going to do is just get it on the bench, shoot, and try to get all the bullets to impact in the same place. We're going for group size, not so much as... And then, well, you know, I'll also discuss how high off or how far off the sights are too, which that can be a problem. And yes, the military rounds do pack a punch to them as compared to my hand loads. So we'll see if you know, maybe getting into hand loading. I know there's a lot of these guns out here and not a lot of ammunition. And the hand loading does, it's like $60 for 100 rounds and $30 for 100 bullets. I think I had it written down here somewhere. So it's not exactly your super cheap surplus ammo to reload, but if you can get a milder recoil and can control the gun better and it's comfortable to shoot and you can hit what the hell you're shooting at, it may be worth it. You know, depends how much you shoot the gun. You know, I know some people aren't into reloading, but on the other hand too, once you get past buying the brass, you can reuse the brass a whole bunch of times. So that saves you money right there. At $60, you know, you can get, if you get 10 shots out or 10 uses minimum, you know, you might get more considering these loads I'm using aren't that steep right there. And you know, after you buy the initial brass, it's a good chunk of the cost. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set out tomorrow and we're going to have us a shoot off in comparison, and should be an interesting video.